Venerable.
Yes, go ahead.
Venerable, a group of us, we come from Malaysia. Today the talk was in Thai, so we missed the essence of your talk today. So would Ajahn kindly recapitulate the gist of the talk today?
Okay. Mainly, I spoke about the body and the mind, which are the composition of our life. We all have a body and we have a mind, and both of them need to be taken care of. We have to look after the body by providing the body with the four basic requisites of life, namely food, clothing, shelter, and medicine, in order for the body to live in comfortable, live in comfort and have no issues. But you have to know the the kind of uh, clothing that the kind of requisite you provide. It depends on your ability, how much you have. So you don't want to spend too much on something that you cannot do. Like you if you're poor, you use you find the requisite on the level of a poor people. If you're rich, you can find the four requisite on the level of the rich people. But and you should provide with just the right amount, not too much, not too little, because too much will be a waste or it can be harmful. Like if you eat too much food and it cause your body to get sick, you become overweight and you have all kinds of illness like heart disease, diabetes. So you have to know the right amount and the right level of cost that you have to spend on these things. This is the necessity that you have to provide for the body if you want the body to live in comfort. The mind also need four requisites. The mind also need food, clothing, shelter, and medicine. But they are different from that of the body. The food for the mind is dana, giving, um, sharing the money or things that you have with other people. When you give, it makes you feel good, it makes you feel content. Shelter, clothing is the five precepts. If you can keep the five precepts, it will protect your mind from going to be reborn in the abai, the unpleasant realm of existence, such as being an animal or being a hungry ghost, living in hell. If you can keep the five precepts, then it will protect your mind, like the clothing protect the body from uh, from from things that will cause the body to become ill or become sick. So you need the five precepts to protect your mind from being affected by things that you don't want to happen to you. And you need a house for the mind, and a house for the mind is the samadhi, calming your mind, making your mind calm. When your mind becomes calm and still, then your mind becomes peaceful and happy, and not disturbed by the events that happens around you. That happens around you. It's like having a house for the body. If there's rain or storm or any kinds of danger outside the house, you go inside the house and you will be protected. So the mind also need a house to protect it from things that will makes it miserable, makes it stressful. If you have samadhi, then your mind will become peaceful and calm, and not disturbed, not affected by the events around you. The fourth thing that you need for the mind is medicine. And medicine for the mind is wisdom or panya, knowledge. Knowledge about the Four Noble Truths and the three characteristics of existence. If you know that your stress is caused by your desire, and the desire for the thing and the things that you desire for, they are not lasting. They are only temporary, and you cannot control them or tell them to be with you all the time. If you have this knowledge, then you can get rid of your cravings or your desire. When you have desire, you can teach your mind not to go after your desire, because it will only cause you more stress. Eventually, what you get, you will lose. When you lose, you will become sad. But if you don't have anything, then there's nothing to make you sad. So this is the medicine for the mind to cure from the disease that caused by your desire, your cravings. There are three kinds of cravings. The cravings for sensual pleasures, craving for beings, and craving for not being. So if every time you have this sort of craving, if you have the knowledge of the Four Noble Truths and the three characteristics, you can get rid of your desire. Then your mind will become calm and peaceful and happy without having to have anything. So this is basically what you have to do in order to make your life happy and not sad, is to have four requisites for the body and four requisites of the mind. The body needs food, clothing, shelter, and medicine. The mind needs dana, sila, samadhi, and panya. So this is basically what I said. If you want to have anything else to ask, you can. Anything you want to ask? Anybody? If not, go ahead, take the microphone if you want to say anything. Nothing? How long you staying in Thailand?
Staying until we were going back to Malaysia on the 13th.
13. You've been here since when? Second? So you'll be here for about 2 weeks. Okay. First time in Thailand? Many times. Where do you go usually? I see. Mm-hmm.
We went to pay respect to Long Po Pai.
Long Ho Pian,
Yeah,
who passed away recently. Yeah, okay. Alright. If there's nothing else, I have to talk in Thai because there are questions coming through the Facebook and YouTube. We are on live every day from 2 to 4 on Facebook and YouTube. We broadcast live, and if you have questions, you can send in text messages and ask for the answer. And then it will be recorded and put in the Dhamma in English channel on YouTube, and you can go in there and watch and listen to all the questions and answers to my talks.
The last weekend we got some of your books in English.
Yes.
Dhamma.
We have a few more new books in English and also in Chinese. If you like, you can go take a look over there on the other building. They are put on the shelves. So you can, there are books by other teachers as well, Ajahn Man, Ajahn Mahabua. Some in Chinese and some in English and some in German. So just go take a look and see. Take whatever you like. Okay? Alright. Okay. Yeah, okay. If you have to leave, you can do. Okay. Have a safe journey home. And keep practicing. Keep practicing the Dhamma teaching. Okay.
Your sensual pleasure is excellent.
Okay. Good.
In English. Okay.
Goodbye.
So the first question I have, my company called me 2 days ago as my family, and I have to solve many problems when I come back to France. How not to be overcome by all these problems I have to face. how to take them step by step and peacefully.
Yeah, it's just like you're taking an examination. You just have to solve the problem that arises and do the best you can. But also you have to make sure that you conform to the law and to the law of the country and the law of the morality. Don't try to solve problem by breaking these rules, this law, because it's not worth it. If you cannot solve it, just accept it. If you have to lose something, just say, that's life. Everything you're gonna lose them one day. If you can see anicca in everything, then uh, you would not be hurt if you cannot solve the problem that that you wanted to solve.
The second question, how to make people respect you while being kind? Because sometimes people will take your kindness for weakness.
When you show kindness, you don't expect anything from in return. That's the proper way to do it. It's not to expect anything in return. Whether they're gonna be respectful or not, or be thankful or not, this is not your problem. It's their problem. If you expect, then you can become discouraged when you don't get what you expected. So this is not the purpose of being kind. The purpose of being kind is to make your heart soft and nice and feeling good. When you are kind, you feel good. When you are mean, you feel bad. So you want to use kindness to overcome your meanness, your maliciousness in yourself. This is the purpose of kindness. Not to get anything from people that you show kindness to, but it's as a medicine to solve your mental problem. Your mind sometimes can be vicious, be mean. So if you have kindness, you can overcome this viciousness. So this is the purpose of being kind, to solve your mental problem, not to gain anything from being kind to other people.
Yeah, but sometimes, people, when they see we are nice to them, they want to push more, they want to gain for us.
Well, you have to have a limit to your kindness. See? You have to use reason. What is the right amount? And if anything beyond that, then you can just refuse to do it. This doesn't mean you're not kind, but you know that it is not good for the person that you're trying to help, because instead of we want to help them so they can help themselves. See, this is the purpose of helping other people. But you don't want to help them in a way in which they become totally dependent on you.
How to refuse them?
Just say nicely, I'm sorry.
Sorry, no.
Yeah, no. Just it. So because it's not good for you, it's not good for me. Because I'll be wasting my resources on you, and you're not developing and becoming resourceful yourself. But the purpose of me helping you is to help you get started, help you to be able to help yourself. This is the problem. But I'm not gonna help you so that you become relying on me forever.
Because sometimes, into work, some people, when they say, okay, this guy is quite nice, we will ask one thing, and after, okay, a second thing, a third, it's never stop, So,
right, you have to stop, see. You have to stop. Yeah.
The other question I asked is, yesterday, I focus all the day, I try to focus myself on Buddha, and sometimes I switch. So I was doing Buddha, after I was doing breathing in, breathing out, or something. I switch many times. Is it good to switch, or do I have to focus only one word?
It depends on what you do. If you intend to make the mind become completely still and become one, then you have to use one only. But on a different, if you're not sitting and concentrating, if you're moving around doing things, then you can switch, as long as you can control your thoughts. But to stop your thought completely, you have to sit still and fix your mind on one object only.
Okay. Okay. I have one question also. Can you explain me the word vimamsa in Pali and how to use it in our meditation and daily life?
วิมังสาแปลว่าอะไรนะวิหิงสาวิมังสา
I think it's
วิมังสา
vimamsa.
มันมังสาวิรัตหรือเปล่าวิมังสา mean not eating meat I think
No, I think
Not killing?
Is analytical thinking.
อ๋อ
Maybe I don't pronounce it.
analytical thinking วิมังสา is using your thought see using your thought analytically, like when you want to solve a problem you have to be analytical rather than being wishful. Wish I get $1 million, this is wishful thinking. But how to earn $1 million, this is analytical. You have to work or you have to buy a lottery or something like that. Then this is called analytical thinking. When we develop insight or wisdom, we use analytical thinking. We think doing this will give you this result. Like doing bad karma, you'll get bad result. If you do good karma, you get good result. If you can get rid of your cravings and desire, then you don't have to be reborn again. This is analytical. So when we develop insight or panya or wisdom, then we have to use analytical thinking.
And the last question is not for me, but from somebody else. Why the monk can eat some kind of meat and cannot eat another kind of meat? Like I think we cannot eat.
There are 10 kind of meat that the Buddha said monks should not eat because they are wild animals, like snakes, tiger meat, lion meat. I don't know why, but maybe during the time of the Buddha, most monks have to live in the forest. And the meat that they eat might emanate some smell that can make the animal thought that you are harmful to them. And they might attack you if they smell this smell in your body. I don't know, this is just my conjecture. But there are 10 wild animal meat that the Buddha said monks should not eat.
The dog as well?
I'm not sure, you have to go see the list. And there's another type of meat that monks are not supposed to eat also. It's the meat that is killed specifically for me, for a monk. Like for you, if you are a farmer and I happen to go to your house and you invite me to your house to give me dana, give me food, and you want to kill a turkey and then serve it to me. And before you serve, you say, Venerable, I killed this turkey specifically for you. If we know this, then we say, no, we cannot accept meat that is killed specifically for us. But if you kill and you didn't tell me about it, it's okay.
Like,
because we don't want to encourage you to kill for us. But if you kill for yourself, maybe it's normal for you to eat turkey meat every day, and you have some you can share with me, then you share it with me, then I can eat that kind of meat.
It's like in a restaurant when we see some live fish or something, we point out, I want this
right.
fish. It's not,
you cannot because you tell them to kill for you. Or if you don't even tell them, but you know when you order fish, they're gonna get it from that tank. So you should try to avoid that. Or before you order, you ask them, do you have any dead fish already? If you have, okay. If you don't, then I'll get some vegetable instead.
That's what I do.
Yeah, okay.
My last question, because we have a bit of time, it's a personal question.
Sure.
I want to know why don't you go eat in other, if somebody invites you to eat some other place, why don't you go? If, for example, for myself, I want to invite you in France, I'm sure you will say no. Why don't you? Because other monks they are allowed to do it.
Well, there are many reasons really. First of all, it's because I've been trained this way. When you newly ordained, you don't want to be distracted by these activities. If you're invited outside to people's home, you're exposed to all the sight and sound and smell, which can disrupt your meditation, your mindfulness. So Longta Mahabua doesn't allow monks to take any invitation because he wants them to be protected, from the distraction. See, so if you go outside, your mind can see things and hear things, and then when you come back, these pictures, these things still remain in your mind, and it will be very difficult for you to suppress your mind, to calm your mind in meditation. Now you know experience when you work and you come home and you try to meditate, then you cannot because you got so much thing on your mind left still in your mind. But if you stay in a monastery and you meditate, you find that there are no other thought to disrupt your meditation. So this is basically why from the time I start meditation, I know that you have to what you call preserve your eyes, ear, nose, tongue, and body, to not to be exposed to all the sight, sound, smells, and tactile objects, because they will disrupt your meditation. So this is the training that I took up, and I find it very useful for meditation monks. So I do this until it becomes part of my nature, and I also have to do it because then I can set up example, so that other monks who come and live with me can also take advantage of this. Yeah. So Longta Mahabua hardly went to any invitation. He only went maybe on some special occasion, on something that he could not refuse, but not generally. He wouldn't take any invitation. So, so, so if you want to give me food, why don't you come to the temple? The temple is where monks stay. Why do you want to drag them to your house? What's the purpose? Because it hurt the monks more than help the monks. See? When you drag the monk outside of the temple, of the monastery, because meditation monk wants to go inside. They don't want to go outside. But when you invite them to your home, they have to come outside. And once it's outside, it's very hard to get back inside. See. So that's the reason why I never, this is the main reason. The other reason is I'm used to my routine. Everything is in place. I don't want to have to switch and from going to one house to the next, and I have to travel back and forth, maybe use a lot of time. Sometimes maybe 1 day or 2 days, sometimes they invite you across to another province and you have to go, So then I would have to give up my normal duty routine. Like I won't be here teaching you every day. If I accept invitation, I might be somewhere now instead of being here. See? So my purpose is in doing this is firstly to encourage, to support the meditation practice. Secondly, to be able to have the time to give you the Dhamma talk. See? So every day people, if they want Dhamma talk, they know where and when to come. And they never disappoint. From the time I start talking, I hardly miss a session here. So this is the purpose. First, to develop meditation for yourself. Once you have done that, then you want to help other people develop meditation by teaching Dhamma to people. And all these things happens. I didn't set up all this YouTube or Facebook. People who see the advantage or the benefit of having YouTube and Facebook, because then it can go all over the world. And there are about maybe 30 or 40 countries, people living in 40 different countries following my talk. And there are people in about 50 or 60 provinces in Thailand that follows my talk. So this is what is important. It's not going to eat. You don't get much. You can come to the temple and give food, and you give the same. You get the same benefit as you invite monks to go to your house. See? But the cost that it will cost the monks and you is so much different. See? So it's better this way, is to not to accept invitation. This is part of the 13 austere practices. Yeah, to go on alms round every day. This is one of the method of preventing you from having to accept invitation. If people ask you to go invitation, then you cannot go on alms round. And there are hundreds of people waiting to give food every day. Then they would miss that opportunity to be able to give food.
So I have no chance to invite you in France.
I invite you here. You can come here every day. I go to France now. If you're in France, you can talk to me right now. So why do you have to go physically? Right? And what's the purpose of going there? Just to eat?
No, you can teach people in France.
Well, they can come into the Facebook now and YouTube now.
Yeah, but it's different. If you go there, we can see you and...
Well, they see me now. They hear me the same thing.
The screen is not the same as in real.
You make it a real, you can big screen. You can get a screen that can make me bigger than life. Yeah. No, Besides not the size, it's the message that you want. Yeah. So I have fulfilled my duty. The best way is to be here. And I can preserve my health also. I don't have to travel. I don't have to risk falling off a plane, I might go to France and in the middle way, the plane crashed. Then what happened? You have to think about the possibilities,
The plane is safe,
Can you guarantee?
No, I cannot guarantee.
So why take the risk when you don't have to? That's because you still want to go here and there, see. But for me, I don't want to go anywhere. And so for me, going someplace is more of a problem than staying. But for you, staying is more a problem than going. So you go because you cannot stay. See. I stay because I can stay. I don't want to go. See. Okay? Any more?
Just a last question. I just want to know briefly why do you come in this temple? I mean, how do you find this temple, this place, before when you start to come here for the first time?
Well, when I first started, I had to study with a teacher, so I went to Longta Mahabua. And after I studied with him for about 8.5 years, the monastery has newcomers, new monks who wants to go in. If I stay, then there will be no place for them. So I found that I have learned everything that I wanted from him. So staying there will be just taking up the room of somebody else. And secondly, my parents, my family, they want to be close to me. And they are in Pattaya, see. So I heard of this monastery because this monastery is built by the monk who ordained me. So he is like my father. So this monastery is like his monastery, and so it's like my monastery. And when I came, I discovered that there is a quiet place up here on the mountain, which is comparable to the place I stay with Longta Mahabua. But here it's less quiet, not too many monks. When I came, there's only 2 or 3 monks here. So I find that I can be alone and practice and don't have to, there's no any work I have to do. If I stay at Longta Mahabua, the more senior monk I become, I have to be more responsible. I have to help with the working of the monastery. See, so I didn't want to do that kind of work. I want to do meditation. So I found a place, achieved my purpose to be near, closer to my family, so they can visit me. I don't want them to get worried about me, you know. So now once I'm here, if they want to see me, they can come and see me. When I first started, I had to be far away from them because if I'm close to them, they'll come see me and they can distract my meditation. But if I'm far away, then they could not go. My family only went to visit me once only, 8.5 years in Udon. See. So they don't distract my meditation. But once I have developed my meditation to the point where I can withstand this distraction, so now it's no problem. For people to come see me, it will not distract my mind anymore. So I stay closer to the family just to make them happy, and also maybe I can teach them some Dhamma if they're interested. So I find this place to fulfill my purpose. So I've been here since 1984. Yeah, 37 years now. Oh no, right? 2018, 34 years. 34 years. And hadn't gone anywhere. I stay here and didn't go anywhere, except when I have to go to a hospital for checkup or to do my dental work or some something that you have to do. Then I go out, but otherwise I don't. I just stay here. I only go out once in the morning on alms round. And after that I come here and stay alone, be alone until the time for me to come to talk to you. After I finish this, I go back and I stay alone until the next day. I love to be alone. I don't want to have any contact with anybody. That's why I don't like an invitation. I don't like to travel because I have to get involved with too many people, too many things. Have to do my passport, have to do my visa, and have to buy a plane ticket. And I also have people to accompany me because I cannot carry money. I have to rely on somebody else to carry money for me, to buy ticket, to pay for my expenses. So I become a prisoner. I'm not free to be alone, to do what I want to do. So I find this is a blessing to have the internet, in which I can now at least do my teaching this way, and people can learn from me without me going to see them at their home.
And how people they know you because you was here and nobody.
Well, people they go to Wat Ajahn Lung Ta Mahabua, and they knew me before that. So they ask around where I am. Once they know, then they start telling other people. Then other people start telling other people. Everything goes by word. I never put any advertisement, any billboard. There's no sign directing people to come to see me here. People come to see me. Sometimes they get lost 2 or 3 times before they can get to this place, because I don't put up any sign or any direction. But nowadays they put them in the Facebook page. If people want to know direction, they can go into the Facebook page or to the website. But other than that, I don't want to see people. But I know I cannot avoid them because this is part of being a monk. You have to give people knowledge if they ask for. But I don't go and ask them to come. If they want, they come on their own. Like you, I never met you before. I don't know how you get here. But once you're here, you keep coming back.
And I will come back again.
So why? Why do you keep coming back? Okay, you can advertise now. Tell me the reason why you keep coming back.
Because when I come here, or like I said last time, when I listen your teaching, I feel very peaceful. I feel like I don't know, something happened inside me, and I feel very peaceful. I understand very much, even in Thai, I understand everything you say. Is very clear for me, and if maybe I can read some other monk or hear some other monk, but it's not the same. I don't know why, but it's not the same for me. It's like water, very clear when you speak.
It's like a restaurant when you go eat. You know the food is different, right? It's the same kind of food, but it tastes different, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Whether it's 2-star or 3-star Michelin, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So the Dhamma is like food, and the monk is like the chef who prepare the food. Maybe it suits you, maybe it doesn't suit some other people.
Yeah, sure.
Some other people might only come once and they never come again because they don't like this kind of talk. I don't know.
But like I say to you when I translate sometime in French, very few people, but some people are angry, they are very, I
Yeah.
don't understand why, but
Because it attacks their ego, see. Dhamma is try to destroy people's ego. If they have strong ego, then they will feel hurt. They feel they've been attacked. Yeah. Okay.
okay, thank you very much.
All right. And this is your last day here.
Maybe
tomorrow.
tomorrow, but maybe I will come only until 3 o'clock because after that I have to go to Bangkok.
Okay.
I will keep the hope alive, Ajahn. I do have a question. What is a good method to remove the feeling of being discomfort in public place?
What is a good method of removing this bad feeling when you're in? You just have to be mindful of what you do and don't pay attention to the things around you too much. Just know enough so that you can navigate yourself, but don't try to have any thought about what people think about you or what they. Just ignore this thing. Just try to be mindful of what you do. Just if you're walking, just concentrate on your walking, and don't try to think about what other people might think about you. I think being too self-conscious can cause you discomfort. So just try to stop your thought of this kind of thought, and just try to be mindful or use a mantra as you navigate yourself through the public places. Just Bhutto, 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 and watch where you're going. That's all. Don't worry. Don't think about what others might think of you. You cannot avoid. You cannot tell them to not think of you or say anything to you. You just have to let them think whatever they want to think. Let them react whatever they want to react. You cannot control them. They are like the wind and the rain. You cannot tell them to stop or to go away. If they fall, let them fall. If the rain fall, let it fall. If the wind blow, let it blow. If people want to act in a certain way, just let them act. Just don't worry about them. Don't pay attention. Focus on what you do.
I have one question from Facebook. So this guy say his wife want to divorce, but him don't want to divorce his wife.
Yes.
And they have one children together, and they don't talk each other, and he don't know what to do. So he ask you what he can do.
Okay. What he can do is he has to accept the truth, the reality. Marriage is the cooperation of two persons. But once that cooperation no longer exists, then marriage will have to dissolve. So he just have to accept the reality that it is no longer possible to remain as a married couple, except if they can somehow negotiate and say, give it another try. Ask her if she can forgive whatever he's done that is bad. First, he has to find out what's wrong with him. What's the reason for her not wanting to live with him? See? Or if she said there's nothing wrong with him, it's something wrong with her, then there's nothing you can do.
Is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with him.
If there's nothing wrong with him, it's just her. Maybe she changed her mind. Maybe she's the type of person who likes to find something different, something new. Then you cannot help. Then you just have to accept. We can look at the positive side. Then it will give you another opportunity to find someone else. There are many, many, many good people, beautiful people waiting for you. There's not only one person in this world. So maybe you might find someone better than she is. So try to look at the positive side also. Don't just look at the negative side. You just have to accept the reality. If she no longer wants to cooperate with you, then there's nothing you can do. So just try to negotiate the best way to split up. Try to be amicable. Try to be friendly. Not try to be angry at each other. Just consider that it's just like a partnership in a company that your partner no longer wants to be part of. And you just negotiate the best settlement for both of you.
Thank you for him.
Okay.